Hello everyone, and welcome to my Royal Family Politics channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. On a significant royal anniversary, King Charles will embark on his first overseas trip since the coronation. Since his coronation in June, the newly minted King Charles III will travel alone for the first time. Unfortunately, this trip coincides with a particularly somber anniversary. The king will travel to Romania soon, marking his first journey abroad since being crowned earlier this month. The day that the monarch will visit the nation will fall on one date that can make the trip bittersweet for the king, in addition to adding some significance and making it a first. Since 1998, the king has made an annual journey to Transylvania. At his coronation, His Majesty reportedly announced the trip and confirmed the date of travel as June 2. Since the start of the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee last year was exactly 1 year ago today, the date is sure to make the trip emotionally taxing. The late Queen started the festivities to honor her 70th year in power exactly 1 year ago today. Just 3 months later, on September 8, the late monarch passed away at the age of 96. The king is expected to be greeted by President Klaus Iohannis while he is in the Romanian city. The king will see the president at his Bucharest mansion. He will travel without the new queen. The king, who once declared the area is in his blood, will also value the visit greatly. The king owns a vacation property in the Romanian hamlet of Viscri. His visit's duration is still unknown, as is the details of his lodging. The journey Charles is making coincides with the late Queen's coronation at Westminster Abbey in 1953, which happened exactly 70 years ago today. On May 6, more than 2,000 guests watched as the king and the new queen were crowned in the identical location. The Prince's Trust Award recipients for this year were feted by the king on Wednesday at Buckingham Palace. Stanley Tucci, Nile Rodgers, Nicola Adams, Fern Cotton, and Charlotte Tilbury were among the famous presenters that came to meet with the king. Queen pulled a brilliant practical joke on unaware American tourists with the line, "quick as a flash." The late Queen Elizabeth II was renowned for her dry sense of humor, and a funny incident involving her and some U.S. tourists has recently come to light. One of the late Queen's humorous practical jokes involving an encounter with a group of visitors has just come to light thanks to this sweet narrative recounted by royal fans. When a group of American tourists couldn't recognize the late Queen while touring her Scottish estate, the late monarch decided to take the opportunity to make fun of them, according to the late monarch's former protection officer Richard Griffin. Since then, the joke has been repeated numerous times, especially in light of her passing last June, and the Platinum Jubilee. Griffin told Sky News, "The Queen would always stop and say hello as there were 2 hikers approaching us. It was 2 Americans who were on a walking vacation, and it was okay that they hadn't recognized her. The American asked her if she lived nearby, and she said that she did in fact have a house close by. He inquired as to how frequently she had been coming up here after she said that she resided in London, but had a house just over the hill. You could see the cogs were ticking, and she claimed she had been coming up for more than 80 years. If you've been coming up here for 80 years, surely you've run into the Queen," he remarked. She responded, "Well, I haven't, but Dick here meets her frequently, in an instant. So I was asked about her by the guy. She could be extremely cantankerous at times, but she has a great sense of humor," I said, adding that because I had been with her for a long time, I could make her laugh. Anyway, the next thing I knew, this guy comes up, wraps his arm around my shoulder, and before I can even realize what is happening, he hands the Queen his camera and requests that she snap a picture of the 2 of us. Nevertheless, we switched places. I snapped a photo of them with the Queen. We kept it a secret, and we waved goodbye. Her Majesty then stated to me, "I'd love to be a fly on the wall when he shows these photos to his American friends, and hopefully someone tells him who I am." Adding, "I hope someone tells him who I am." The late Queen was sporting a headscarf and casual clothing at the time of the amusing encounter. Shortly after the late Queen's passing, one account, @SimonBrodkin, uploaded Griffin's version of the incident on their TikTok account. Fans of the royal family left comments under the video, apparently amused by the tale. One supporter commented, "We need to find these Americans and their photos lol." The following comment was posted, "Lovely story, really made me smile." What a lovely recollection, a third admirer wrote. On September 8, 2022, nearly 9 months ago, the late Queen passed away. At Balmoral, where she had been staying over the summer, she peacefully died away. Elizabeth Yi loved creating the sketch, which was filmed at Windsor Castle and aired as part of her late Majesty's Platinum Jubilee festivities, and spoke to the director of the Paddington sketch after it was said. After the filmmaker requested her to do another take of the famous sketch with Paddington Bear, Queen Elizabeth I reacted angrily. The revelation follows the awarding of the TV BAFTA for the most memorable moment going to Paddington Bear having tea with the late monarch on the BBC during the Platinum Jubilee party at the Palace celebrations. The cartoon featured Her Majesty enjoying tea with Darkest Peru's famous bear from author Michael Bond, whose table manners could use some improvement. Paddington has tea straight from the pot, while Queen Elizabeth II watches. He also mistakenly digs his paw into a plate of chocolate eclairs. The unfortunate bear, who is making excuses, offers the Queen a marmalade sandwich from his hat, but she responds by pulling one from her handbag. "Happy Jubilee, ma'am, and thank you for everything," Paddington Bear then says, to which the Queen responds, "That's very kind." At the Platinum Jubilee concert, the Queen and Paddington can be seen tapping their feet to the rhythm of Queen's We Will Rock You. In response to the sketch, actor Simon Farnaby said, "I was amazed. Our director put a lot of effort into getting her to perform. Can you just do it again?" They would ask. She would then say, "I thought I was pretty good." He deserves praise for inspiring that performance from her. "We were there all day," Mr. Farnaby, who portrayed a footman in the video, continued. "An elderly woman had a long day, yet she cherished it. She had a strong desire to perform. Have as much time as you need," she urged. "We talked a bit," he continued. "She excelled. You must be exhausted from walking up and down," she continued. "She was incredibly kind, just like your grandmother." When Mr. Farnaby won the BAFTA Prize at a star-studded gala in London's Royal Festival Hall on Sunday, May 14, he reiterated Paddington's statement. "The person who deserves this prize, the greatest, is no longer with us," he continued, adding that the Queen had a very joyful Jubilee tea the day of the filming. "Only on her behalf can we receive it and say, 'Thank you, ma'am, for everything.'" The moment outperformed Nick and Charlie's first kiss in the LGBT+ television series Heartstopper, as well as the comedy series Derry Girls season finale, in which the people of Northern Ireland vote massively in favor of peace. The real Mo Farah's admission that he was illegally transported to the UK and the Traitors' final roundtable were also nominated. In Stranger Things, Max is saved from the demonic Vecna by the playing of her favorite music, Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. When the Queen passed away on September 8 of last year, mourners scattered Paddington Bears amid the tens of thousands of floral tributes left all over the world since the occasion had become so well known. In recognition of his departure from his position, the former private secretary, Queen Elizabeth I, received many honors this week, including a peerage. Following the passing of the late Queen to aid in the changeover from one monarch to another, Lord Young stated that he was honored to have served two sovereigns through historic times. After serving as a member of the royal household for 19 years, the royal assistant is leaving his position as Joint Main Private Secretary to the King on Monday. Lord Young has received a peerage, been made a Lord-in-Waiting, a Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the Bath, and a Knight Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order in appreciation for his service. Lord Young worked with Sir Clive Alderton, the King's principal private secretary, who praised him and said of him, "Edward has been an outstanding colleague and a dear friend for almost 2 decades. He provided immeasurable support for the transition process in the final years of the late Queen's reign. We all miss him a great deal." The royal assistant succeeded Sir Christopher Geidt as the late Queen's private secretary in September 2017, and he would have brought a wealth of expertise to his temporary position assisting the King. Prior to joining Barclays, he held a variety of financial and executive positions for Granada and served as the company's head of corporate communications for Granada. Lord Young stated, "I am grateful for all the support and friendship of colleagues along the way. It has been an honor to serve two sovereigns during historic periods. As I leave the palace gates, I am deeply moved by their kind words and tributes, but I look forward to staying in close contact in the years to come." Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.